Hello and welcome to another update video about Fantom. A lot of people asked for another Fantom update and I can understand it because it has dropped so much yesterday. It is nothing that we didn't expect on this channel. Pretty much what is great that if you've been following me for a while, this was a take profit area, which is great. Some of my sell orders triggered back here and this is actually buying area. So some of my buy orders started to trigger down here, even a little bit higher actually already. But my strategy is to take the larger swings, and I think on this example we see how valuable that can be, just to take the larger swings, not to try to get every small wave with a trade. So I did set my sell orders back here. That was communicated to all channel members, and currently we are getting close to my last buy order, to be honest. What I need to mention to all channel members: I will not issue any further buy orders should we drop below that level. The reason is at some point that's just it, and nobody has infinite money. I set my budget for the current drop, and I just won't continue to accumulate, for example, Fantom if it drops below a certain level. That's just as it is. At some point it's enough, and then this is just how it is. I set all the buy orders, and the last one hasn't triggered yet. I set these months ago. So we did expect those levels, but what I'm just a bit concerned about is that the speed of that drop, the acceleration of the drop, because Bitcoin hasn't even come close to the 29K level that I do expect to see, at least for Bitcoin. So what does Fantom do, right? We want to take a look at this in this video. So in the last video I showed you that we should still be able to see the 54 cents at some point here in this correction, and however I did expect some resistance around the 87 cent mark, which is the 78.6% Fibonacci level. Well, it didn't care, did it? It just moved through, which is not good. It didn't care. So here on the 4-hour you can see it, how we just moved through with a huge red candle. You can see how relevant actually that level was, because otherwise we probably wouldn't have seen that selling value. Someone, either it's manipulation, but someone has just with intention drop that price below that level. Look at that. Anyway, we are now correcting. This is a corrective move what we're doing. We might just be retesting that from below and then move down further. Bear in mind we already oversold, so I don't expect this just to go down in a straight line. There will be corrective moves up. Is it really concerning to drop below 54 cents? Because that is what will happen if Bitcoin really goes to below 29K. I think it will. This is the last level for the bulls where they can really get going. Typically when an asset drops below the 88.7% Fib level for a while, it will be very difficult for that asset to to recover quickly, if it recovers at all. I just have to say that clearly. Don't want to create any panic here, because I'm very much aware of fear and greed in the market, and please don't see this as panic, because there is some good news as well that I want to show you, and everybody needs to decide for themselves, but I want to give you a clear picture here. So this is obviously a wave 1, 2. That is how I see it for Fantom. What did we do before? Because when an asset has a certain behavior, it typically doesn't change that behavior in a market. So let's take a look how did Fantom actually move up, and what are the Fib levels it retraced to in before here in 21, beginning of 21. Beginning of 21, it moved all the way up to 88 cents and then retraced down to just below the 78.6% Fib level. That is pretty much where we are now. It retraced down to 15 cents, and that was back then between the 78.6% Fib level and the 88.7. So pretty much where we are now, and from here it started the next move up. Okay, so here it found support pretty much. We would need to find support now and then go up. What did it do the time before then? So here, that wasn't too bad. It found support again at the 78.6% Fib level. That is, again, it didn't find support this time at this level. Right, and then here we have to start at 0. This was when it started. Well, in this first pump and dump, it actually dropped below the 88.7% Fib level and managed to recover back above it. And that is what I hope will happen this time as well. You can see what is quite funny though, that while the 88.7% Fib level this time is 54 cents, Back here it was 0.0053 cents or 54. It doesn't matter. It's not that accurate now. There's quite a bit similar level, isn't it? It's just a different. It's just obviously a much lower price. But yeah, it dropped below the 88.7. I had actually risked to go back to zero, but it recovered this time, so which was great, which helped it. So there is a potential that if it drops below the 88.7, it can of course still recover, and that is what I hope for. Still think it's a good project, but I need to, on this channel, as someone who's responsible also, I need to call out the risk. Yeah. We of course expected these price levels on this channel. That is why I set these buy orders for channel members on Discord as well. Show you what my buy orders are, yeah, and what levels I do expect. But if we drop really below that 54 cent level, I don't just keep on buying. Yeah, there needs to be a limit. Everybody needs to decide what is the risk that they can accept for a certain crypto should it go to zero, because this is what you should do. You should always be aware that if you invest in something, it could theoretically go to zero. We don't hope it, but what is the maximum I could tolerate? And yeah, for Fantom, I'm not gonna buy in more. Again, just need to I'm not expecting it to go to zero, very, very clearly. I don't expect it to go to zero, but I'm just not gonna continue to buy in, you know. That is just what it is. I still think we are going to find support here along the way. Somewhere I do expect that Bitcoin is going to go up at some point here in a corrective wave 2. I do expect it, or I do explain it all in the Bitcoin video. And it surprises me a bit how fast Fantom is coming down at the moment, to be honest. It surprises me a little bit. Would have expected some support at the 78.6% FIB level at 87 cents. Didn't happen. I still think there should be some relevance of this target area, and we should see here some sort of a move around. As I said, you know, in the worst case, so again, not to panic here, anything. To give you a bit of background information about the elite wave. So when you have here this as a wave 1 and this here as a wave 2, yes, the price can, to not invalidate it, can come down to the beginning of the wave, and that would be at 16 cents. I mean, it means we still are in an uptrend, and we still are not breaking any rules as long as we find support above the beginning of the wave. It's just that, especially here, the 88.7 and the 78.6% FIB levels, they are key support levels, and typically when you break below that, it can become difficult. But what we always need to bear in mind is that it is a very volatile market, and Fantom in itself is very volatile. Therefore, possibly there is a chance, of course, to turn around here, and I still expect it, but I won't just set lower buy orders. And yeah, I think this is the hope that I have, that if we break below 54 cents, we are still gonna somewhere here find good support, because this would be the beginning of that wave. If we drop below it, yeah, okay, then it will be like single digit Fantom. But looking at that to the 15 cent level, Fantom still has space, 80% pretty much. So that should be good. It just means that I have a little bit less confidence in that coin if we drop below the 88.7% FIB level. But also saying that if I look at certain markets and cryptos, there are a lot of cryptos that are going to break below the 88.7% FIB level. Yeah, there are a lot. So not many of them that I cover, but there are quite a few. So I'm going to do, as I said, a dedicated video on that this weekend. But there is no reason to panic, because as I said, you can come down to the beginning of the wave. It just isn't that good for the chart from a chart point of view. Yeah. On the other hand, understanding how volatile Fantom is gives me hope again, and also that in the first 1-2 that I just showed you, we did also come down below the 88.7% FIB level and then recovered. You know, it is still a good project. So it is just important to understand the risk management and what you are able to tolerate. Yeah, not just to keep buying, hoping it will go up and you still buy at 1 cent. Again, which I don't think it's going to get to. So I don't want to create any fear here. Please don't. But everybody needs to understand the risk. While other people are still pumping coins, it's important to take a step back and understand where we currently are in the market. And it's surprising how much the altcoins are currently coming down, I think. Not surprising as a whole, because we did expect these lower prices, but surprising in terms of the relationship between altcoins currently and Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is holding fairly well. So we dropped below that 78.6 level, and currently the MACD is still pushing down, so we can't currently see a beginning of an recovery for our chart. MACD seems to be slightly now decreasing negative momentum, but it's just too early to say it. But as I said yesterday, we are now oversold. Look at the daily chart. I think we are now oversold. So if anybody's looking for a crypto that is oversold, that is typically a potential buying signal. Not telling you to buy, it's only one indicator. But in the short term, we could see some upside here from here, because whenever we were at that level, we're now at 25. Last time here, November 2020, when we were at 25, what actually happened? Let's take a look. At 25, we had that low here, and then we started to move up from, well, I would say 0 to 55, 56 cents. So, this is a potential. It's not without reason. An oversold asset is normally something that is fairly attractive to buy. So that is why, my buy orders are triggering at the moment, left, right, and center, while these cryptos are going down. So it's good. It's looking good, but we're coming down a bit too fast, in my opinion. So we need to be vigilant here in the market. But that is an interesting signal. You don't get that every day, that a crypto is oversold on the daily. As I said last time, November 2020, way over a year ago. Before that, March 2020, to a similar degree. Before that, September 19. Before that, January 19. Interesting time at the moment. I did load up more of my Fantom bag, as channel members know, with my buy orders. The weekly is as well very, very low. It just knows one direction at the moment, down. We are not oversold on the weekly yet. The last time we were oversold on the weekly was in March 2020. Okay, and that is my view here currently about Fantom. Hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. Thanks a lot for watching, and maybe consider the channel membership. Bye bye.